Hey, hey. Hey, hey, growing what I eat. First one in. How you doing? It's good to see you. Good to see you. Whew. Gonna be listening in the bushes. Okay. Thank you. I appreciate it. Appreciate you being here and appreciate you listening in the bushes. How was your day today? I want to welcome everybody in. And if you on the replay crew, I want to welcome you too and thank you so much for coming in and checking it out and spending some time with me. Hey, GT Junior, how you doing? It's good to see you. Good to see you. I hope you're doing well. I am well. My family as well. Thanks for being here. Hey, Mike, how are you? I do have on my shirt I made. I love this shirt. It's just a short, like a crop shirt, but I like it. And I wanted just to have a little something on because it's a little chilly in the house and it's just a little weight. But thank you. So what's in your cup and what's on your hook? I I'm drinking tea. It's a red honeybush tea mixed with the Tazo passion tea, which is hibiscus flower. It's just I just mix it up and yeah. Did I tell y'all about the coffee I bought last week? I don't know if I told y'all about the coffee or not, but Mike, I bought Advent calendar coffee from Aldi. It's available at Walmart, but the price at Aldi was like only $14, and I think the regular price is like $36 or something. Anyways, um, it's flavored coffees. I think I did show it to y'all. Anyways, I've been drinking that during the yeah, I've been drinking that in the mornings, um, and it's so far that it's been really good. So all the flavors have been nice. Actually, today's gingerbread cookie one was the one I've liked the least of all of them. The gingerbread cookie one I've liked the least, but all of them have been pretty good still, even though I didn't hate it. I could still drink it. It was still good. Um, just not one of my favorites. So if I had the opportunity to buy it separately, I wouldn't buy that. Uh-huh. Yeah, what about this weather? I don't know what it's like where you are, Cole. Conditions are cloudy with a temperature of 17 degrees Fahrenheit. Ugh, that ain't even cold. There should be another word for that. Frigid, unbearable, shameful. I don't know. There should be a word for that. The wind is blowing from the west at 4 miles per hour, and the current humidity is 78%. Yeah, it's pretty chilly outside too. I actually it's been a couple hours since Bella came in. I don't know if she'll want to go back out, but it was cold, cold. I'm like, Bella, you better hurry up, cause I can't with y'all. Hey, Bayou, sugar, 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 sugar. Conditions for Montgomery. Conditions are clear with a temperature of 36 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay. It felt like it. And it's early. Usually we hit the low temperatures about 3, 4 in the morning. The wind is blowing from the east southeast at 0 miles per hour, and the current humidity is 88%. Ooh, yeah, and it feels like 88% too. It's damp. It's it's cold and damp, and kind of seeps into your bones cold. So yeah, feels like something's in my hair. My hair's doing something crazy. Um, but yeah, I did. Mike, I've been following you all afternoon, y'all. I have not been on. Y'all, I have not been on Facebook. I mean, Facebook. I have not been on YouTube or Facebook either, for that matter. The last few days, it's just been rough. All I can say is it's been rough. And yeah, but so if you've been missing me, that's why, because I have just not been on. I couldn't bring myself to even turn on the computer until 10 o'clock when I set up the doggone live stream for today. And I almost just came on and said no live stream. But yeah, I'm not going to do that. I did manage to get out of the house today, which is something I've been trying to do more of. This time of year is tough. And that's something, I guess that's something we should talk about maybe if you guys are interested, maybe not. I don't know. Um, I usually talk about it because it's pertinent to me. And um, but the holiday blues, um, what's the other thing called? Seasonal affective disorder. Save the seat. Say I saved the seat by head. Good. There you go. Seasonal affective disorder. FR, but you've been on my mind since Friday. I've been meaning to reach out. Um, it's been rough. I'm not gonna lie. It's been rough this whole anyways, this week. It's just a lot. It's just a lot. Um, and don't apologize, honey, because life be life, and I get it. Um, and even a thought from far away can make a difference. Y'all don't energetically. Um, sometimes that's one thing that'll turn things around. Just a positive thought from somebody far away. You don't even have to know about it in order for it to affect you. And I firmly believe that. So, all the good thoughts, thank you. I appreciate them. Um, but yeah, it's something that, I don't mind talking about because it's something that I deal with this time of year. Some years are better than others. Last year was not bad at all. This year, the season was late getting started. We had a long fall, even though it was getting darker. The weather was nice, and so you could still spend time outside during the day, and still get a good bit of sunshine, and that helps me whenever I can do that. But once it starts getting cold, I don't want to go out there in it, and so I'm cooped up in the house. I'm in the dark, and yeah. I have to remember to turn my light on because I do have a therapy light that I use. Um, but there's other stuff too. Reaching out to people, talking to people, interacting with people, and that kind of thing. Because just to be perfectly honest, this time of year has a lot of anniversaries for me, for my family, and so it just brings back a lot of memories, and it's kind of hard. It gets kind of hard. Um, and so for me, especially, I say just remember to be kind to one another um, as much as you can because every little bit helps. Every little bit helps. Replace bulbs in the house with full spectrum bulbs, no fluorescent lights. Yeah, that part. It's funny because I went today and got some grow lights out of my crafting room that I'm not really using and put them in here and attached them to a chair so that they could shine on me while I was doing some other stuff. And I was like, I should probably use those lights too, because those are full spectrum lights. Um, And I was just using it because I was going to do some filming, but then after I finished, I was like, let me just leave them on for a little while. Um, but you have to be careful with light therapy to do it at the right time. You really if you're using lights during the daylight hours, that's not a problem. But you don't want to use those lights during the dark hours. You want to use them at the end of the day and at the beginning of the day, or during the day, but not at night, because it'll throw off your what's it called? I know the word, circadian rhythm, if you use them at the wrong time of the day. Bella is sleeping. Is Bella still stepping on my feet? Yes. Bella always steps on my feet. She acts like she cannot get past me without stepping on my feet, but she can get past everything else without stepping on it. I mean, she will, if it's even like if like dropped a piece of yarn on the floor, she steps over the yarn, but she steps on my feet. So I know she can see it. You know? It's like, and it's not like the yarn was gonna hurt her, but she'll easily step over that. Crazy girl. But anyway, she's laying down right beside me, fast asleep. Um, she'll probably wake up here in a minute, demanding that I stand up because when she gets up, she wants me to stand up. And I'm all for that, you know. I need to stand up sometime. I don't need to sit down all the time. Oh Lord. Bayou, did I send you that information about how to find local? I'm gonna have to go back and look at it myself. How to find local farms in your area that will sell directly to you. I was on TikTok and I saw this video of this woman who lives off grid, and she was talking about, food security and um supply chain issues. Okay, good. I'm glad I sent it to you. I thought you might be interested in it. Um but she was talking about food security and supply chain issues and other kinds of things, and she was saying one of the things that you can do is you can use this resource to find out local farmers and whatever, um local sources for um, food, vegetables, and um, meats that may or may not sell directly to the public. Um, and I will try to do a community post and put that link in it for anybody who's interested in it. Um, yeah, because, you know, as things change over time, I mean, growing your own food, we do the best we can with that. And we're never going to be totally self-sufficient and able to provide all our needs. So we do need to reach out to others who are trying to do something too, and and maybe form a relationship where you can maybe barter or share or work for whatever. They may have a need that you can fulfill in exchange for, you know, discounted or whatever. Or even if it's not discounted, maybe you can get, a local source for something that, is normally shipped in or something like that. When you eliminate the transportation costs, then you reduce the overall cost of things. Um, so yeah. But if anybody's interested in that, I'll try to post it in my community tab, that as a resource for people. I'd never heard of it before, um, so that's why I shared it with you. Um, You are right. We definitely gonna have to reach out to others around us. Yeah. And that's the thing. Like I was sitting here, I think I posted the video today of my final harvest for the Cusho squash. I had 4 of them. I'm not gonna eat them. I'm gonna eat some of it, but I'm not gonna eat 4 Cusho squash. And they keep well, so they're not a problem. But on the other side of it, there are food pantries and food banks in town that will take fresh produce. And so I am definitely gonna make a phone call and see if they want um any of those because I still got the other big one. I still got the 9 pounder. Yeah. Those were the last 4 that I harvested before the freeze. The vine froze 2 nights ago. And so that's what I harvested the day before, the day of the freeze. That day that the temperature dropped low that night, I harvested before it got dark, and that's what I got. Um, and then I was sitting there thinking about it. I think I got a total that was 4. I gave 2 away. I cooked 2, so that's 4 more, 8. And then I had the big one. So a total of it's either 9 or 10. Dice and freeze, he says, dice and freeze. So you freeze them raw, Mike? Because I cooked the one I cooked and I used half of it and I froze the other half of it after I cooked it. That was the other thing too. I don't know if I told y'all. Um, I don't like them just cooked. So, but yeah, I might do that. I might dice them and freeze them. Some of them too. But I used my pumpkin bread recipe and used the substituted the squash for the pumpkin and it came out great. I need to make a picture of it. I might have a piece left. So Um, I have a video of that pumpkin bread um, from last year or year before last. I do have a video of me making that pumpkin bread, and only different thing that I did different with this squash is that I just substituted the squash equal parts for the pumpkin. So it calls for I think a cup of cooked pumpkin or canned pumpkin. I used a cup of canned squash in it, and everything else is the same. And it came out really good. I need to edit and upload. I like the pie I made. I nuked the raw squash 15 minutes and then blended. Oh yeah, you need to edit and upload it. And like I've been over to your page in a minute. I haven't been over there in a minute because I haven't been on here. I told y'all I haven't been on here. I managed to get that video uploaded and I made that. Which one did I upload? The apple pie. I made that. Was it the apple pie? I don't know what it was. I cooked something and I uploaded a video of it, and but I made it a week ago, and I managed to get it uploaded today. Yeah, that part. Today it was apple pie. Okay, yeah. It'll probably have to go up Sunday. Oh, and I need to go back and check on WIG. I'm not too late to get started on that, am I? That apple pie made me hungry. That apple pie was good. You know what? I My son likes apple pie. He likes pie and cobbler. Those are his favorite desserts. My youngest son. Now my other son loves everything. It doesn't really matter what it is. Um, yeah. That's right, Mike. I remember your comment. I did go in and respond to comments today. I was like, I need to get. I had comments that were a month old. That's a shame. Shame. But anyways, but my son likes apple pie, and so I made that for him. You can start when you can. Okay, I will. I do. I've got a brand new unit that's still in the box for WIG. So I'm gonna start that. And I don't know what I'm gonna grow this year. I don't know what I'm gonna grow. I got stuff growing in there like crazy. I need to update y'all to let you see what I got in there right now. I've got um red clover growing in there, and it's taking over the world. It's crazy. I still have some of those tomatoes. The one you sent me, the geranium kiss. Is that? Did you send me that? I don't know. I have the geranium kiss ones. Me too, Mike. You can start when you can. Had ice cream ready. Yeah, I like apple pie. I like making an apple pie. It's very forgiving when it comes to making it. Um, I like to use Granny Smith apples because they're tart. Um, but you can use multiple kinds of apples in there, whatever's the way you like. I just want people jumping the gun and showing grown plants on December 1st. Oh no, you're gonna see me starting off with seeds. I'll be dropping seeds, no grown plants. For real. We'll see what we get in there. Um, any plants from seed after December 1st is fine. Perfect. I'm definitely gonna do it. But yeah, I still have the geranium kiss tomato in there. It's got tomatoes on it. I need to go in there and check them because they probably about ready to start blushing. Um, um, and I got some, I think holy basil. It's growing really slow. Oh, that's what I was gonna tell you, Mike. One of the systems I got, for whatever reason, the pump is not working. I don't know how to fix it, so I said fine. And so I bought an air stone. I put the air stone in there, and it's fine. I have the air stone on a timer. It doesn't run all the time, but it runs. It's on a timer. Um, I just picked it up off of Amazon or Amazing, and it's growing. Everything in there is growing like gangbusters, so it's fine. Um, And the problem with that one is I had it for a long time before I even opened the box. And then when I put it together, there was a connection problem. So I put it together and I had put the water in and it's like so I had to finagle it and try to figure out what was going on, what the connection problem was. And then once I got the connection problem figured out, the pump just didn't want to work for whatever reason. It wouldn't um you just run it 24/7. I don't know why I plugged it into a timer, so it's on a timer and it's not timed with anything else. So it's not like it's timed with the lights or anything else. It's just it runs some whatever the timer was on. I don't even know what the timer is on. See, I don't even know. But yeah, you could run it 24/7. I just have it on the timer. But yeah, I ordered that, I dropped it in there and called it go. Called it go. But otherwise, that one's good, is doing fine. Also doing fine. The lights on it are not are work just fine. There's no problem with the lights, so that's good. Um, but I would not buy that one again because for many reasons I would not buy that one again. But hey, I will use it. Definitely will use it. Oh yeah, let me show y'all this. I'm working on the star blanket. I am almost done. Look at it, y'all. Oh, it's a baby blanket, so it's just about the size I want it now. So I'm going to um, finish it out with this color, the color. I may put a white border trim on it, but I'm going to do several rows of the color until I run out of yarn. Um, and it came out really good. I like this pattern. It's by Yarn Inspirations, which is I don't know who they are. They it's one of the companies that bought out another company that is a name that you'll recognize. Yep. And But the pattern is by Yarnspiration. It's a simple pattern. It's a free pattern. You can just download like a PDF of it. Um, and it's really simple, easy to follow. It's a simple repeat. Once you get to like row 10, it's just a simple repeat. Every row is pretty much the same with the increases in the same spot, same place every time. So it's really easy. And so it goes fast. It just goes fast. And I love, love the color. The yarn itself, I don't like the yarn because it's rough on the hands. And so I have to be careful. I can only work on it for so much time or it leaves a little groove in my finger. But because it's rough. But the color is called Mexicana. And the yarn is by Red Heart Super Saver yarn. And I'm almost certain that someone gave me this yarn. And so thank you to the person who gave me this yarn. Thank you. I think it was given to me. But I do love the colors, and I would buy this yarn. I absolutely would buy the yarn because the colors are so pretty. We were talking about there's this trend going on right now called thank you. There's this trend going on right now called We Listen, but We Don't Judge. Okay, Mike, we listen, but we don't judge. And so this girl did a video doing that crochet edition. We listen, but we don't judge crochet edition. And one of the things she said was, I hate Red Heart yarn. We listen, but we don't judge. I thought I would crack up dying because a lot of people feel that way about Red Heart yarn. I don't hate it. I don't love it. And but it's cheap and it's durable. And you can get it locally. You don't have to order it online. You don't have to search for it. You can get it locally. Almost any store that sells yarn sells Red Heart yarn. And it has lots and lots of colors, and some of the colors are really pretty. Um, but but I can feel her pain the way she says, I hate Red Heart yarn. It squeaks on my needles. I was like, on my hooks. I was like, it squeaks on your hooks? She's not wrong. She is not wrong. The yarn itself is it's just rough on your hands. It actually hurts to use it. And so if you work with if I'm working with Red Heart yarn, I can go probably about 2 hours. If I'm working with any other yarn, most other yarns, I can go about 4 to 6 hours. So it just limits the amount of time that I can crochet at any one time. Now there's a ring that you can get so that the yarn doesn't touch your hand. The yarn goes through the ring instead of on through your fingers, so that you can do that. And there's also gloves that you can get if you're having problems with it. But yeah, it literally will almost like a rug burn on your hand. I don't know if y'all can. I'm gonna put this up to the camera, and I'm gonna turn my finger. You see that shiny that right there, right there. You see that right there? That's from the yarn. The yarn is making a groove on my finger. Yeah, Red Heart does that to me. Now, some of the other cheaper, like Mainstays, is not quite as bad as Red Heart. So there are other cheaper yarns out there. Craft Smart yarn, it's kind of rough on your hand, but not as bad. And some colors are different than others. Yes, the Star Blanket. Some colors are worse than others, and that I don't know. There's some dye lots that are worse. There are other things about Red Heart yarn that cause people colors. I do know one of the ladies, Jeannie. I think she's has an allergy to Red Heart, and she has used it for years and years and years. She had bunches and bunches of it, in her house and in her storage and in her attic, and um, and come to find out that was causing her allergy problems. Probably is the dye in it, but yeah. Okay. Hey, Darthex, how are you? Um, but one of the nice things about it is it does soften up quite well after it's washed. So if you have anything that's made with um Red Heart and you find that it's rough on your skin, um, or if you find that it irritates your skin or messes with your allergies, wash it. Um, I generally wash my garments in non-allergenic soap. So yeah. Weather conditions are mostly cloudy with a temperature of 40 degrees Fahrenheit. The wind is blowing from the west at 6 miles per hour, and the current humidity is 95%. 40 is warm for most of us. Most of us are in the 30s. So yeah, glad to hear that you're doing well. Yep, glad to hear that you're doing well. And thank you so much for coming in and spending time, dropping in, seeing what we're doing, hanging out. Um, Appreciate it. But yeah. But anyways, I thought that that post was funny. Some of the other things that she said. Oh, she said, I don't count. If my count gets off, I just increase or decrease to make it work. Oh, and then the comments were pretty funny too, because people were like, "Yeah, I don't count. I finesse." I was just laughing. I was cracking up laughing. I was like, "Yeah, we listen, but we don't judge." I'm like, I need to make a video that says Vancouver Island. I'll take it, but it was frosting overnight. Yeah. So I need to make a video that says, um, don't come over here thinking this is a no judgment zone. This is a judgment zone. We believe in consequences. So get ready before you decide you want to confess. There will be consequences. There is no statute of limitations over here. I love that. I don't frog, I finesse. That's right. I'm not taking it out. We're gonna make it work. We're gonna find a way to make it work. That's like the last blanket I worked on. It was also a star blanket, also a 7 point star blanket, also, but the pattern was not a great pattern. And the lady who wrote the pattern is not a nice person. I didn't reach out to her though because I don't reach out to people. If I get a pattern, a free pattern, and it doesn't work out for me, I just chalk it up to luck and keep it moving. Um, but I was not about to take it out. The the It didn't match up. The count was off. It was always off. Something was wrong. I'm reading the pattern. I'm following the pattern. Something is wrong. And I'm thinking, okay, it's just me. I can't follow this pattern. So I'm just going to not follow the pattern. I'm just going to make it work. And so I put the pattern down and I finished the blanket. Make it work. The pattern's not working. So I'm going to make it work. Well, now I've seen where other people have had issues with that pattern as well. And when they reached out to the lady, she was like saying that it's not my pattern, it's you. um, you're doing something wrong. And it's like, well, okay, it's me. I was doing something wrong. I was trying to follow a pattern. That was the thing that I was doing wrong. And so once I stopped that nonsense, trying to follow that pattern, I went ahead and finished the blanket, and my blanket came out fine. Um, Um, but this is not a no judgment zone over here. There's lots of judgment on that pattern. And if anybody wants to do that pattern and they ask me about it, I'm gonna say you probably don't want to do that one. Um, if you want to do one similar to that, I can recommend another one that you might want to try. In fact, you probably don't want to try any of the patterns that she has out there, because if she can mess up one that bad and not offer any help to people when they are trying to get it to work out for them, you might not want to use her patterns. I'm just saying. But I don't write patterns. I'm not a pattern writer, so that part. Like, at least not for other people's consumption. I have written a couple um, for myself, for things that I have made and wanted to possibly make again. And so I wrote the pattern out. And I'm trying to do more and more of that, because oftentimes I will create something that there is no pattern for. I created it on the fly and then I give it away. And not only don't I have a pattern for it, I also don't have the item anymore either, so I can't reverse engineer it. So I'm trying to write things down when I make stuff like that. So at least I can go back to it at some point. Um, but definitely haven't made them for other people to use, and to have other people to troubleshoot them for them, because that's one of the things about writing. Really about writing anything, but about writing a pattern, you need testers. If you're creating something, I don't care whether it's a recipe for food or if it's um, a blueprint for a house, you need somebody to test it for you. It's like having a proofreader when you're writing reports or documents, or everything. When I was working, I did a lot of writing at work, but I always had people to read what I was writing, because I know what I wanted to say. I know what I thought I said, but did I say it? I don't know until somebody reads it and it's and is able to follow and understand what I was trying to say. Um, I Because I know what I want to say. So when I read it, I'm reading what I thought I said. And that's the same way it is for patterns. You know what you're doing. Beta testers, exactly. You know what you're doing, and so it's hard for you to test your own work. And speaking of beta testers, do we have anybody in here who reads poetry? Just asking for science. Mhm. The reason I'm asking is because I have a book of poetry that I'm getting ready to finish. I'm getting ready to finish. That's pretty funny. I've got a book of poetry that I'm finishing up, and I need some beta testers, some beta readers, um, to read through it for me. Um, and I was thinking about just hiring somebody like on Fiverr or something like that. Weather for surprise. Conditions are clear with a temperature of 61 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay. The wind is blowing from the north northwest at 6 miles per hour, and the current humidity is 22%. Whoa, that's nice. That's dry, but it's nice. Um, that's probably a cool 61 then, with the low humidity like that. But yeah, anyways, I'm looking for beta readers, beta testers. Um, if anybody's interested, just email me and let me know. Like I said, I was considering just hiring somebody to do it, maybe like on Fiverr or whatever. Um, but I'm going to probably be finishing up the final edit and format um, by the 15th of the month. And then I'll be ready to send it out and let people read it, um, before I publish it. And as soon as I get, the corrections done from the beta testing, then I'll be ready to publish. Uh-oh, I think I'm gonna do that. Maybe I will do that. Maybe not. I did it before. That's pretty weird. It's okay though. I don't like that seam is so visible. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Alright. What was your high temperature today, by you, sugar? I don't know what the high was here today, honestly. I went out. Did I wear a jacket? I did wear a jacket when I was out. Well, I was out in the yard. Was I out in the yard today? I cannot keep my days straight. I was not out in the yard today, but I did go out of the house today. I was out in the yard yesterday raking leaves. I got my leaves mostly raked. I'm gonna be bagging them up tomorrow and putting them in the compost bin. I was like, was I out today? I don't know if y'all saw that short that I dropped. Was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday. It might have been today. I dropped this short of three collard plants. And I know exactly how they got there. I had I let the two plants go to seed last year. The purple stem collard went to seed, and then my Georgia cabbage collard, went to seed last year. And I collected the seeds off of them. But when I collected it, when I took the blah 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 blah, speak English so people can understand you. So when I cut the tops off of them and to collect the seeds, I usually just snip them and drop them in a bag, right? And then I will pin the top of the bag with a clothespin and hang it up and just let it dry in the bag. And then eventually I'll just crunch them up in the bag and then pour the seeds out and clean the seeds that way. But I had there were so many seeds. So after I filled up a couple of bags with them and, labeled them and everything and hung them up, I still had seed head left. And so I just put it on top of the trash bin, laid it up on top of the trash bin in a slide because I don't remember whether the trash can was full or not or whatever, but I just laid it up on top of the trash bin um, for whatever reason. And the one over there, I didn't have my bags when I laid it on top of the trash bin, so I hadn't put the in the bags yet, and so I laid it on there. And then a couple of days later, I came back with the bags and took the ones off. Anyways, long story short, there was a bunch of them on top of the trash can after I got all I wanted. And at some point, I opened the trash can, and then I had to sweep up all these seeds. I was like, I'm gonna have collards everywhere. And sure enough, some came over next to the fence, came up next to the fence. And so I'm going out there tomorrow and dig them up and move them into the garden. This won't be the first time I've moved greens out of my yard. Actually, not just greens. Last year I had mustard greens to come up in my lawn, and I moved them in the lawn in the back where Bella is right out next where Bella spends most of her time, but right by the patio. And it's because I was collecting seeds on the patio, and so I had mustard greens come up. I'm like, that looks like I must make mustard greens. It's like it is. I think I'll move them to the garden, and so I moved those over to the garden last year, and then This year I had lady cream peas come up in the grass around the garden where they were in the garden bed, and they had where they were trellised up, and some of them just dried and fell on the ground, and so I had them in between there. And right now I've got like three lady green cream peas right by the back door from where I had put some over there. I had laid some down over there that I had harvested and went to do something else and forgot about them. Wind blew them off, and now I've got peas coming up over there. Well, I had peas coming up over there. The cold's gotten them now. Um, but and then some where I had pulled them out and thrown them on the ground, and then later raked everything up and went and put it in the compost bin or the trash can, depending on whether or not I was going to compost it or not. And yeah, so I have them coming up all around. So um, long story. Anyways, the short of it is recognizing your plants. You need to learn how to recognize your what your plants look like, so when they come up in places that you don't expect, you can move them and put them in a container. Hey Zach, how are you? But yeah, you can move them and put them in your garden bed or in a container or whatever. How you doing, Zach? And yeah, that part. Now I do have other collards that are growing out there anyway, but you can't have too many collards. And since I had the squash and well, all of the other tender plants got hit by the frost, I've got room to put more collards out there, so that's what I'm gonna do, and we'll have more collards. How are you doing, Zach? You doing okay? Struggling with depression, but I'll be okay. Yeah, we were talking about that earlier today. I mean, earlier in this live about seasonal affective disorder, holiday blues, um, depression, anxiety, mental health in general. So, are you able to get out and get any sunlight at all, Zach? Or do you do light therapy? Mike was saying to get full spectrum lights in your house. Um, this time of the year is tough. Is a tough time for me as well. Um, but what I try to do is um, I try to recognize when the symptoms start showing up. So be aware that they may show up and recognize when they begin to show up so I can take steps early on. And I do have a therapy light that I use, um, and it does help. It definitely helps. I'm seeking therapy to help me. I had a doctor's appointment to discuss it today. However, it got canceled because of snow. We got lots of it. Oh, okay. That's too bad. I hope you can get it rescheduled quickly. I know sometimes with you guys' healthcare system, you do have to wait a little bit, but they usually do manage to get you in, correct? Yeah, I'm grateful that it doesn't get cold, so cold here. That has helped me a lot. Yeah. Um, the darkness coming earlier in the day um is a big one for me. When 4:30 rolls around, it just takes something away from it. Just takes something out of me. I reschedule it for next Monday the night. Okay, good. That's good. So it's not going to be too long of a wait. Um, but yeah, the darkness and the cold. there was it 2018? I think it was 2018. I'm almost certain it was 2018. Um, I don't even like to think about it. Hey, Tina, how are you? I don't even like to think back to that time because it was so bad, but there was a lot going on, and it was cold, and it was wet, rainy and wet and damp and dark and all of the things. And on top of that, some other things were going on with work and everything. That was just a tough year. It was either 17 or 18. I think it was 18. But anyways, it was I think it was late end of 17, first of 18. Um, it was horrible. It was just horrible. And yeah, that part. And honestly, that is probably when I decided I was going to go ahead and retire. Because that's not when I retired, but I think it was when I made the decision that, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and retire sooner rather than later. Because it was during that time that my husband found out that when they ran the numbers, was that he was eligible to retire like in 3 months. And he said, and I'm going right away. And I was like, what? Wait. And he's older, so he had the age. I didn't quite have the age, but I decided at that point, once I got the age, I'm out. I'm out. And it was just, everything was bad. Everything was bad. Okay, you're doing well. Good deal. Good deal. Um, but it really helps to have a good support, a good network, a good support system around you, um, and to be able to recognize things that help you get through it. Um, One of the things that helps me get through it is um, doing something for somebody else. So, like making this blanket as a gift helps me quite a bit. I too find that keeping busy helps because if I get bored, I get depressed, but I have to be careful not to overdo it because I work myself sick. Yes. And the other thing with me by you is I will cook. Um, uh, I wish I was one of those people who would clean. I'm not that person. If I won't clean, but I will, um, I'm trying to think of a good way to say this. I won't clean, but I will throw away things. And I have to be really careful because everything irritates me. So if I walk by something and it's irritating, it's gone. And I mean, it's just like gone. I'll pick up a trash can, a trash bag, and I'll just walk through the house and just fill it up, take it outside, throw it in the trash can. And I've thrown away, I've thrown away things that I needed before because I just needed to throw stuff away. And so like I picked up the day's mail. I went to the mailbox, I got the mail, I went straight to the trash can and threw it in the trash can. Just like that. And later I'm going, I don't remember getting those bills. Did I get any bills? And I'm like, oh, you know what? I threw away all of the mail one day. And I had to go back and call and get all of those things um, for all of those accounts because I just threw them away. And I'll do that, not just mail, but, like I'll go in the backyard and I'll say, oh, this has got to go. And next thing I know, I'm cutting stuff down, I'm burning stuff. Um, yeah, whatever. And that's how I felt the other day, yesterday, day before. My son said something to me. I said, I think I'm just gonna burn something. And he was like, what? Wait, mom, wait. And I'm like, I'm good. I'm good. I've got stuff put aside to burn. But yeah, that thing. So But yeah, doing something for other people, that helps. If I can be helpful to somebody else, that really helps. And so like making this blanket is a good idea. And that I have another one um scheduled to go right into another one after this one is done. So I have another project on deck. Um the challenge, the WIG challenge that Mike and GT are doing, that'll help. At least it's a project. It's a one day, not a whole day, but it's a project for a day. So I will get that done one day and I'll film that. Um, and that helps. Having a routine or somebody who's counting on me, like I do have. This week I have a friend who I'm going to meet for a meal, and so knowing that she's counting on me to show up will make me get up and get dressed and get out of the house. And so scheduling things like that helps me. So I have to plan for it. I do that with plants. Go through killing a lot. Problem is, I will overcompensate and keep plants that should go. Yeah. I'm really bad about it because I would, like I said, I will throw out things that I need, and then it's like, dang it, I can't believe I threw that away. Or I won't even remember that I threw it away, and it's like, I know I had that, I know I bought that, yeah, and now it's gone. Can y'all hear Bella snoring? She's sleeping good. I'll do that with plants though. Yeah. So, but yeah, I do have one a planner. Um, and I use the calendar in my phone a lot, but I also have a physical planner to sit down and think. I have a list. It's really a journal. I have a list, and I'll write things in the journal. Um, I'll just make lists in the journal all the time, like of things I want to do. And so um when it gets down to and I feel myself kind of sliding into that headspace, and I'll go and I'll pull out my journal and I'll look at my list, and I'll pick a couple of items and I'll circle them. It's like, oh, I'm gonna do this one, and I'm gonna do this one, and I'm gonna do this one, and then I'll start working on those. And so um one of the So, and anyways, I was saying I'll circle them and I'll do that. And one of the projects that I just completely lost my train of thought, guys. I'm so sorry. I have a list and I will go through it and I will circle them, and then I will work on those projects. And so it's nice to have a project I'm working on. And one of the projects that I'm working on um during this time period is my book. My book of poetry. I said I was going to finish it by the end of the year. I'm going to publish it by the end of the year. And so I actually am on a deadline on it because the software that I'm using to format and compile it, I only have a 30-day trial. So I'll either have to finish it or transfer it to another software or buy the software I'm working on if I don't finish it by the end of the month. So there you go. But yeah, I will do that. And because I knew that I needed a project to work on, to focus on. Um, and this one is not about the editing of the poems. It's more about the formatting of the book. So there's that. Although I have to admit I have edited several of the poems because I read through them and went, yeah, I don't really like that like that. I think it sound better like this. And I did change it. But yeah. But Zach, I hope that you can get the help that you need and you can find ways to help you just make it through. Just make it through. Um because it is possible to make it. I'm just here to tell you it's possible to make it. I've lived with depression my entire life. You'll get it done. Working under pressure is good therapy too. It is for me. It definitely is for me. Um, yeah. I remember I don't remember who said it. Now I'm trying to remember who said it. There was a guy, I don't remember who it was. I think it was a minister. I think it was a Methodist minister who said, "Lord, please let me be the man that my dog thinks I am." And whenever Bella's in here living her best life, I think about that. You know how dogs are though? Dogs are so um I mean, Bella's spoiled and everything, and she gives me heck all the time. But if I leave and come home, she is up and in my face. Where you been? What you been doing? How are you? Are you okay? Are you sure? Are you sure? You know, that's what I feel her saying. I'm like, I'm good, girl. You good? We good. We all good. but but it doesn't really. I mean, you don't really have to treat dogs well for them to be really good to you. And if you treat them well, they are really really good to you. You feed them. You know what I'm saying? You play with them a little bit. You spend some time with them. They are like they think you are. You know what I'm saying? They think you the best thing that ever happened. And don't walk away and come back. They like so happy to see you, and they be wiggling their whole body because they're so happy to see you. Oh, I was like, yeah, that's the prayer. Let me be the person that my dog thinks I am. Sometimes I wonder my squirrels that way about treats. Not me though, about treats. Well, it might be about the food with the dogs too. You know what I'm saying? You keep feeding them, so it might be about the food. But she's so funny. But anyway, so yeah, I'm gonna doing a wider band of the color. Um, Probably gonna use up most of this yarn. Um, oh, I might be almost okay. Let me look and see how much yarn I got left before I commit to doing another row because I might be done already. Oh, yeah, this might be the last row. Because this is all the yarn I have left. So this might be the last row. So, which is good. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to end up with this on this row. And I don't think I want to do a border at all, but I'm gonna think about it for a minute if I want to do maybe a solid white border or not. I don't really think I want to. I think the squirrels will grow to love you, Mike. Dang, Mike. Sorry you didn't get any fruit. I didn't either, GT Junior. And mine are dead. I meant to take some cuttings off of them um, to see if I could keep them growing, and maybe I'll get fruit next year. But um, it bloomed. They bloomed. I had how many of them? I had one, two, three. Did I have three? Four. I had four. I had a total of four of those because I had two that I ended up putting under a tree, one that I put by the house, and then one that I put at my husband's. And I didn't get any fruit of it um off of that Paul Robeson at all. And they produced flowers all summer long. And they would produce flowers, they would drop flowers. And I did all of the things. Um, I took them out of the sun, put them in the shade. I had some in the sun, some in the shade, some in partial sun. So they were in in three different locations. Um, I added, I don't remember which one you're supposed to add, the bloom fertilizer to it. They produced blooms, but they did not produce fruit. Um, I had some that were sitting in um, drip pans, so that to make sure that they didn't dry out. I had some that were sitting directly on the ground. So different conditions. I created different conditions um, because I didn't know what the problem was, and so I did all of the things and got no fruit. So I don't know what the deal is with that one, but yeah, a lot of effort and nothing. No bang for my buck, no juice for my squeeze, whatever you call it. Whatever you call that. That's what it was for the Paul Robeson. And I was excited to try it. I was definitely excited to try it, but yeah. Let's see. Mike said, exactly, same. Tons of flowers, adjusted the fertilizer, and nothing. I got no fruit inside or outside. Exactly. I had them inside, didn't get any fruit. I took and kept them alive all year, took them outside, didn't get any fruit. Wow, what a coincidence. Maybe it's the seeds. Mm, Mike, that's the move. Sugar babies for the win. Now I have hundreds of Romas. I had grown those. If I'd grown Romas, I had hundreds of them. That part. It might be the seed. I'm trying to remember who I got my seeds from. I think I got them from Growing with Hudson, or did I get them from you, GT Junior? I don't know who I got my seeds from, but somebody gave me those seeds. I did not purchase them. Um, One thing I'm going to do is I saved seeds from those sugar bomb tomatoes. I'm going to plant those earlier this year because right now I got sugar bombs outside, um, frozen probably. Um, but I planted them late. So I'm definitely gonna, I have seeds, I do have seeds saved from them. So I'm gonna definitely start those earlier this year because those are good tomatoes. I usually just buy them at the grocery store. But yeah. In 2023, I got like four fruits, just not a prolific plant. Okay. And so maybe it's the plant. So I'm excited, GT Junior. Maybe me, I don't know. I don't remember who I got them from. But I did get them from somebody because all I remember is that GT Junior and Growing with Hudson wanted everybody growing Paul Robeson tomatoes. And I'm like, okay, if you send me seeds, I'll grow them. And I invested 2 years in those tomatoes for nothing. Well, sort of, kind of, not really. Well, I mean, they took up space. They took up, real estate in my yard that could have been growing something else. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, could have been growing something else. Could have been growing some tomatoes that I could have eaten. But don't get me wrong, I did have tomatoes this summer. I didn't have any large tomatoes, but I had lots of cherry tomatoes um, from inside. That geranium kiss tomato, nope, it was Hudson. I don't think I sent seeds to Alabama. Okay, then it must have been Hudson. Um, I don't know who sent the seeds to me. I just know that somebody said they had them. It might have even been Duval. Somebody said they had them and they gave them to me. I don't know. I don't remember. I'm sorry. I am so sorry. If you sent me those seeds, thank you. Whoever you are. Thank you so much. And I'm sorry that I can't remember who it was. It's probably on the seed packet. Actually it might be. I do have a spreadsheet, y'all. Oh Lord have mercy. Y'all know I'm a little bit touched. I have a spreadsheet for all of my seeds, and it has on it the name of the seed, the year I got it, the source of the seed, if I got it from somebody, if I bought it from, a commercially, if I saved it from the garden um, or from the grocery store. Um, um, when to plant it indoors, when to plant it outdoors, when to transplant it outdoors. All that's in my spreadsheet for most of my seeds, not all of them, for most of my seeds. So I could probably go on that spreadsheet and look and see because I haven't updated the spreadsheet in a minute, but I've had those seeds for a minute. So the spreadsheet's been updated since I got those, so it's probably on there. Y'all don't laugh at me. I know that's a little bit. I want to say excessive, but I'm gonna say obsessive because with me, it's an obsession. Um, for certain things, it's not everything, but for certain things, I want to spreadsheet it. I want it alphabetized, and I want it color coded. Yeah, that part. And I need all the pertinent information in it. For certain things, not all things, but certain things. A lot of things I just don't care. A lot of things I like pretty much chaos, but organized chaos, but pretty much chaos. But for certain things I just need to know. And I'm behind in updating it. So now, if somebody calls and asks, "Well, do you have so and so?" I'll go to my spreadsheet and I'll look on the spreadsheet and I'll go, "Well, it's not on the spreadsheet." But I'm like, "Yeah, but you haven't updated the spreadsheet for a while, so you still may have it." So then I hate to have to go through all of my seeds to look to see if I have a seed. Yeah, that part. I would much rather go to a spreadsheet and type in in the search bar the name of the seed and let it search and let me know. But it's in alphabetical order, so I can just run down the list, and let it that part. See, okay, I'm sorry. I don't need y'all to know how this rat brain works. It's like a little hamster in a wheel. Actually, it's like 100 hamsters in wheels in here, and they're all have different music going on, so they're all going at different rates. Um, I wrote a poem about that. Ah, I don't know if I put that one in the book or not. Uh, let me look and see real quick. That's hilarious. I just thought about that one. I don't know if it's in here. Let me do a search. Voices in my head. Oh, should I read this for y'all? This is a poem I wrote. I don't remember when I wrote it. Oh, I do have a dates on them somewhere. I could put the dates on them. But anyways, this one's called "Voices in My Head." It's about the hamsters. Be still for just 1 minute. Let me have some peace. Lie down and take a rest. At least a little while for. I'm sorry. Let me read it again. Be still for just 1 moment and let me have some peace. Lie down and take a rest for a little while at least. Stop your rushing and running and tormenting me with tangents. Slow down your rapid firing. Please sit with me in silence. I can't find what is wrong with this. I can't read it. I'm sorry. That's not the one. But anyway, that one. The voices in my head. But there's another one that I wrote about the lack of voices in my head, about the silence. And it's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy too, because it was like it was quiet and then I missed it. No, it's not there. I have to go back and look because that's not the one I was thinking about. Hmm. Anywho. Oh, goodness gracious. Touched. Yeah, that's it. Mm. Okay, I'm sorry. I got distracted. Tangents. That is my life, y'all. that that is my life right there. Getting lost, getting following, getting having tangents about everything all the time. But anyways, that was a short one about the hamsters. Running around all the different thoughts and all the different directions. Sometimes it gets really crazy, and so there's this with me, it's the striking of the balance between um, the lack of activity and the too much of activity, and and my it's interesting because I've talked with it to thank you Bayou. I appreciate that. I there's a I've talked with my therapist um about it, and it's like, and she's like, "Well, you're not bipolar, but there's a striking of balance because I'm not hyperactive. I'm never hyperactive, but my brain is hyperactive, but my body is not. So I'm not physically jumping from thing to thing, but my brain can be always. I can be sitting completely still, not doing anything, but my brain is jumping from thing to thing to thing to thing to thing to thing to thing. And I'm like, just calm down. Like you put your hands on it, like just slow down, just slow down. um but then it's like it slows down and it's like, okay, I'm gonna need you to speed up just a little bit because we need to get something done. Yeah, so but yeah, it's not the mania like with bipolar disorder. um it's not that at all. but it is definitely a level of activity that can be um, anxiety producing, like that. So yeah. And I'm not a doctor and I'm not trying to diagnose myself for anybody else. So blah blah blah. Disclaimer, blah 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 blah. Yeah. That part. Blah 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 blah. Disclaimer, blah 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 blah. Yes, I totally understand. That's how my brain. That is my brain, not my body. Exactly. Um, I don't have a problem with hyperactivity. In fact, I'm a low activity person all the time. I could be um um I try to be more active. This is not medical advice. Do your own research. Exactly. Blah 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 blah. Thank you. Yeah, you know the words. Disclaimer, blah blah. Disclaimer, not medical, blah blah, not doctor, blah blah. Advice, blah blah. Yeah, that part. um, but yeah, I'm not a hyperactive person at all. I'm a low activity person, and I have to strive to be active. Um, like setting reminders to actually move. Um, that's one of the things that when I was working in the office all day, I had reminders set for me to take a break, to get up, to stand up, to walk, because I will sit in the one spot in one position for a very long time, and then when it's time to get up, I can't get up because like my muscles have locked in place almost, and so it's like, okay, you got to get up. Yeah, and luckily in our office we had a workout room, so you could take a 15-minute break and go jump on a treadmill and walk, or jump on a bike and ride, or pump some weights or something like that if you wanted to, because we had a full workout room in the office. Or you could take a longer. I mean, you could take an hour break and do that. They pay us to work out for, was it 3 hours a week? I think it's 3 hours a week. We got paid to work out. Um, so that was nice. And you could just, get up from your desk, go to the workout room, work out, you know, go go take a shower and go back to work. No problem. So, but yeah, I did have to set reminders to get up and to move around. And even now at the house, sometimes it's like, how long have you been sitting? I have a reminder on my phone to move every 2 hours, because I will sit here and not move. And it'll be, 2 hours later, and it's like, you haven't even stood up, stand up. Um, Luckily, my kids were very active, um, athletes, in fact. Um, so I don't know what I would have done with kids whose activity levels as close to mine, because there would have been a problem. That would have been a problem. But they were very active. They were in activities, from the age of 2. They were doing something. So keeping up with them became, my activity of choice. If I run out of this yarn before I get this row finished, I am not going to be happy. So to all of the yarn gods out there, make it last long enough. Long enough. Mike is real good about getting the disclaimers up for me. By you. He's real good about that. Because we don't want anybody to think we're offering any kind of medical advice out here. Mike, I have a question for you. Um, you've told me this before, but can you tell me one more time? How do you make your chia pudding? Because I want to start doing it. I bought a chia flax mix, and I want to start using it daily. Um, like yesterday, but I didn't. Like yesterday. So tell me, how do you make your chia pudding again? And I'm hoping I have everything in the house I need to do it. Did I take that last? Yes, I did. I took my last antibiotic today. Yay! I hate being on antibiotics, but I needed to because I was really sick. And I let it go on too long, but I didn't let it go on long enough to become bronchitis or pneumonia. So there's that. Okay, there you go. It's looking good. I'm just praying to the yarn gods to let me have enough yarn to finish this row. I'm praying to the yarn gods. Let me finish this row. Let me finish this row. I'm not gonna be able to finish this row. And I'm not buying any more yarn, so there. 2 tablespoons, a half a cup of coconut milk. What the heck happened? Adjust your taste for thickness, etc. Can I use heavy cream instead? So I don't have coconut milk, but I wouldn't use a half a cup. I guess I could use a quarter cup of heavy cream and quarter cup of water. Or could I use okay. I was like, what can I use instead of the coconut milk? Because I don't have coconut milk at all. I don't have coconut milk. I don't have any kind of milk. I have cream, I have yogurt, and I have water. Oh, you know what? I might have some milk. When I think about it, because I did buy milk with let me write this down. I should okay. I'll make some tonight. And you say you can sweeten it with honey. I actually have maple syrup I might use too and try it. I'll probably try it with honey, with maple syrup, with stevia, with all the things, with even maybe even put some dates in it um, too. Sometimes I use dates. So cute. Give a ball of yarn to a cat and she will fluff it up. Yeah, I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna use it. I have it. It's funny. I had some before and I never used it, and I don't know how old it was. Splenda, if you use artificial sugars, okay. Yeah, I can. I may have. I don't think I have any Splenda in the house, um, but think I might have some stevia, um, which I don't prefer stevia actually. Don't like it at all, but I think I might have some. um, when I was using Splenda, I used it a lot, and so I used it up and then I didn't buy any more. But stevia, on the other hand, I didn't use it up. So I might try it. But I do have some dates that I need to use up. And so I can do the thing. You know the thing. pray to the yarn gods. Don't pray to the yarn gods to give me any more yarn because, and then give it to the cats because then I'll have to untangle it. That will be true. That will be true. But I already did that with this yarn. I had a good hour of untangling session with the white yarn. For some reason it was wound very tight and it wanted to tangle up on me, so there's that. I'll make some before bed too. Yeah, I'll make some before bed, so I'll have some for in the morning. um I think my brother does one too, but I think he makes his like maybe he makes it one day and he makes enough for a couple of days. I don't think he makes it every day, but I think he has a couple of he has a couple of s- spoonfuls every day. So he'll make enough for like 3 or 4 days. I don't know. So I'm going to try to do a short a day for the most of December. Now I'm not gonna say for the every day in December because to be honest, December's already starting out to be a really rough month, and I've got some things going on. I'm gonna be on the road quite a bit, and use cream and coconut. Oh, that sounds good. Actually, excuse me. Um, but I'm going to try to do at least a short a day, and I'm also going to do. I'm going to try to do at least one 10-minute video every week. No, not that. I'm going to try to do 5 10-minute videos, um, over the course of the month. So it may be one. It may be once, one or two a week, but not consistently. Like not the same day every week. So y'all look for Mom would crochet us booties and hats when we were kids, and beat the heck out the of the store bought hats and socks. Yeah, yeah, they do, absolutely. I'm trying to think if we had store bought hats growing up. I don't remember. But yeah, so that's my plan for the channel. Is like I said, five at least 10-minute videos, roughly, and roughly it might be 8, it might be 12, um, for the month of December, and then a short a day for the month of December. And it's going to be all kinds of content. It's just going to be lifestyle stuff. So there'll be gardening stuff, of course, and there'll be crochet stuff, of course, and there'll be cooking. There'll be lots of cooking, lots and lots and lots of cookies and cooking. Y'all are going to get sick of seeing me cook um the same old meals over and over and over again. Like, didn't she cook this already? Does that woman eat purple cabbage every day? Pretty much, because I love it. Not every day, but yeah, I haven't. I have one in there that I haven't cut yet, so you're definitely gonna see purple cabbage at least one more time this week, and maybe one time next week, and maybe one time the week after that. uh, uh, you talking about my shirt? Yeah, I did make this shirt. It's a crop top. Um, guess I can stand up a little bit so y'all can. I can't stand up a little bit because I'm old. It's a crop top. That's as long as it is. It's just a crop top. Um, and I could have made it longer, but I didn't. I ran out of yarn. I used the yarn. The yarn was for my sister's cardigan, and this is just what was left over. I made her a cardigan and hat set, and this is what I had left over, and so I made this little crop top out of it. And I could make this longer. I could add on to the bottom to make it longer, but I don't want to. I like it cropped off like this. I really just wanted. I was gonna crop it even shorter, make it up to the neckline, and then just have it that way and have longer sleeves. And so I'm going to do that to make one that's just sleeves, but I like it. And then here's the blanket that I'm working on. It's a star blanket. It's a baby blanket. And I'm doing the last row right now because I'm almost out of yarn. So this is the last row. Um, I might not have enough yarn to finish this row in this color. And if I don't, then I will come back and put, I'll do something different. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'll do something. It just depends on how close I am to having it. So, but I'm excited that it's almost done. Let me see where I am. Oh, no, that's 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Okay. Okay. All right. Yarn gods are blessing me. I'm going to have enough. I am going to have enough. I'm blessed. Ask me how I'm feeling. I'm blessed. That part. It's a star. You know what? I thought about squaring it up. I have never done that before. I've seen one that's been squared up and I liked it, but I don't know how to do that. So no, I'm not gonna square it up. But I am gonna go and find the pattern where they squared it up and look at it and see what it takes to do that, because I do have enough of the white yarn to square it off. Um, So I'm gonna look at that, and if I ever make another one, I might do that. This is the first one I've made using this pattern. This pattern is um Yarnspirations is the name of the company or whatever, and um yeah, Yarnspirations. It's Bernat 7 point. Wait a minute. No, Yarnspirations 7 point star throw blanket pattern. I think that's what it's called. 7 points. No. Well, okay. It's Yarnspirations, and Red Heart and Yarnspiration is, I think, are the same. But anyways, it's a 7 point star blanket um throw pattern, throw blanket pattern. And yeah, that part. I like it. Um the color, the yarn is a Red Heart yarn. It's the color is called Mexicana, and the white is a Karen 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 1 pounder. Yep. And I like it too. The Karen 1 pounder is a tad bit softer than the Red Heart. It's not a lot softer, honestly. Um, it's a little bit softer and it's a little bit thicker. They're both 4 weight yarns, but um, the white yarn is just a touch thicker, a touch softer, um, but not significantly. So yeah, if I had bought the pattern, if I bought the yarn to make the blanket with, I would have bought the same brand. But to be honest with you guys, the dye makes a difference in the yarn. So when you're using different colors yarn, if you're like, if you're using 2 or 3 different colors yarn, um, each yarn, the dye in each yarn will make the difference on how that yarn feels. And so some yarn dyes will make a yarn be uh, um, softer or not quite as soft or fuzzy or different things like that. It's like as quick as you're hooking, you can figure it out. Yeah, I probably could figure it out. I just, like I said, I've never done it, and I haven't thought through the process of how it would work and how much yarn it would take to square it up. Uh, but yeah, I also knit. I haven't knitted anything recently, but I'm going to make a pair of socks because I try to make at least one pair of socks a year for myself. I just like to make socks, a pair of socks for myself a year. I make I use 4-weight yarn when I make socks, so they're thick. Um, I like to wear them in my boots, and I always buy my boots um, bigger because I know I'm gonna wear thick socks in them. So like my boots and my so if I was gonna buy a pair of boots and a pair of tennis shoes, my boots will probably be a half size bigger than my tennis shoes because with the tennis shoes I'm gonna wear cotton socks um, um, that fit snug. With my boots, I'm gonna wear a thick sock that I hand knit, and I'm gonna need room for it to not be too tight on my feet. So I just buy them bigger because of that. Um, I haven't knitted in a while, and I need to get back to it because I like it. I like it, and I like knitting socks. Um, but knitting for me is different than crocheting because I really have to pay attention when I'm knitting. I generally use a pattern when I'm knitting. I don't use a pattern when I'm crocheting. I kind of freeform it. I use a pattern as a guide when I'm crocheting more than actually following it. But when I'm knitting, I generally use a pattern for at least part of it. Like for socks, I know how to make socks. But when it comes to turning the heel, there's a specific pattern that I use for turning the heel on socks um, for wide feet because I have wide feet. And so I follow that pattern pretty much to the letter when I'm making doing that heel turn. And so you will not see me doing that while on camera and talking to people because yeah, I would be messing up my socks if I did that. uh, do you knit socks? Okay, thank you. Um, I usually am crocheting when I'm on at night. Generally because I like to keep my hands busy. I'm a fidgeter. Um, I'm a major fidgeter, but my fidgets are small. It's my usually my fingers and my hands, and so I'm either doodling or I'm crocheting. Um, it was nice to see you. Thanks for coming over. I will check out your page if you have one. I will check you out. Yeah. I knit other things besides socks too, by the way. But I do knit socks. Actually, I have a really large piece that my brother made that I want to finish, but I don't know how. And so I'm going to have to find myself a knitting teacher to either show me how to finish it or to find somebody who's willing to finish it for me. It's huge. It's pretty amazing too. Um, but it's beyond my skill level at this point. I think I might have a playlist that has fiber arts. If you're interested to see some other things that I've worked on that I've had videos of, probably finished projects, probably not me working on projects, but probably finished projects on there. So there's that. Okay. There's one thing about this pattern that I don't like. Um, it's not the pattern, but it. What does it say? I don't. I'm just an old wore out vet. Surf the tubes. BTST keeps me up. Okay. Well, I'm just a person who likes to go live on YouTube, um and crochet and talk with my friends late night on Monday nights. And you are welcome here to hang out with us if you can't sleep. Y'all look, I had enough yarn left over. I had enough yarn to finish this row, so I'm happy. I am definitely happy. Now, the question is, I don't have enough yarn to do another row with this. Let me see. I don't even, yeah. I know I don't have enough yarn to do another row around. But the question is, should I do a border in the white or should I leave it um, as is? Should I do a border in the white, white, white? Should I do a border in the white, white? I don't think so. I think I want to really leave it with it as is. I want to finish it, have it started and finished with this color. Mike said, hold it up. Okay. We holding it up. I don't know what it looks like, y'all. We're holding it up. We're holding it up. We're holding it up. I like the colored border too. And I don't have I don't think I have I know I don't have enough to do another row on it. So I'll leave it as is. So we're done. We're done. No border. And that's fine too. That is fine. Yeah. Well, it starts off, with the color in the center. Let me show it on the right side. That's the wrong side, and I have to weave the ends in. But it starts out with a color in the center, and then it finishes up with the color on the edge. So I like that. Yeah, exactly. For a baby blanket, the shape doesn't matter at all. Um, so I'm going to I use this soap called Charlie soap. Charles's soap. I always call it Charlie. It's called Charles's soap. And it's it's just soap. It's like a powdered Castile soap. And it's really nice because it's fragrance free. It doesn't have anything in it but the soap. And I like to use that um, for all of my blankets and or anything that I give to anybody before it leaves the house. I usually do that. So this is going in the wash, and yeah, it'll be cool. And then I can package it up and put it in the mail and send it to. I can't say it online because then y'all will know. And send it to the press to the parents for the baby because people keep having babies. I don't know why people keep doing that, but they do. And oh yeah, guys, I'm gonna. This is a 10-minute warning. I'm gonna get off of here in 10 minutes. Um, Mike and GT Jr. I will be going back to doing longer lives after the holidays. I may not be doing. I may not be doing lives every week, but I will do some longer ones after the holidays. But yeah, just thought I would let y'all know that I'm not going to cut them all short at 2 hours. But right now I am recovering from being ill, and I have a lot going on, and so I don't want to overdo it. Yeah. Are you on the coast? Or a night owl. I'm a night owl. It's gonna be 1 o'clock in 10 minutes, or in 8 minutes. I am a night owl. I'm in Central Time. It'll be 2 o'clock on the East Coast for those people on the East Coast. But yeah, I am a night owl, and I've been known to go 3 or 4 hours depending. Just depending. So yeah. But yeah. I am definitely a night owl. I'm doing better about not being a night owl. I'm trying to get my sleep schedule a little more regular. Not I mean, I don't I don't have a problem with staying up late, but there are things that I need to do during the daytime, often during the daytime, and I can't do both. I can't stay up late and be functional during the day. So I'm trying to get it a little bit more um, regular, and having the days where I'm up super late be a rare thing rather than a regular thing. Um, so that part. It's 11:53 there. Okay, so almost midnight there. So you're an hour behind us. Okay, or ahead of us, or behind us, or whatever. I can never remember what that means. Central here, Oklahoma. Okay, Oklahoma. There's a song about that. There's a whole musical about that, not just a song. What are you talking about, woman? There's a musical about that. I'm getting tired. I don't know when I get tired, I start getting silly, and the voices that I hear in my head start coming out of my mouth. So then y'all get to hear the crazy that's inside. It's like I tried to tell you, you didn't want to listen. And I start making songs out of everything. Y'all, that's horrible. Anyways, so the last question for the night is, y'all planning next year's garden yet? Have you decided what you're gonna plant? Where are you gonna plant? You got new beds for next year? You you are you buying your supplies now so that you'll be ready to go? Are you doing winter sowing? What's going on? Now's the time for plan. Now's planning season. Planning season for next year's garden. So what are y'all doing? Are y'all getting ready? Um, have you decided what you're not gonna plant next year? What I'm not gonna do is, and what are you gonna plant next year? Um, Mike, I'm gonna succession plant candy roaster. I decided I'm succession planting it. I'm gonna wait until later to start it, the first one. But when I do get started, I'm like gonna plant it every 3 weeks until until fall and see if I can get more. I don't know if I can or not, but I am. Because I loved it. Now I absolutely loved the candy roaster squash. Um Kusha, I liked it, but I didn't love it. Um it makes great pumpkin bread though, so I know it's usable. But I think I want a succession planet to maybe outlast the pest. Now, next year's pest pressure is probably going to be totally different than this year was because no 2 years are ever the same. Y'all know that as well as I do. Um, I do. I finished my candy roaster squash pie for breakfast. You made candy roaster squash pie? Okay. I want to try the Kusha squash in a pie, but I'm afraid that I don't like the flavor enough that if I put it in a pie, um, I might not like it. But the pumpkin bread came out good, so I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. The bread came out good. I don't know if the pie would how the pie would do, but I want to try it. Where'd you get your recipe for your pie, Mike? That's a question. Okay, I said I was only gonna ask one, but okay. Anyways, yeah. Where did you get the recipe for the pie? I've seen some squash pie recipes on online. Um, I think they use Hubbard's. I don't remember for sure. I do onions, radishes, spices, and lettuce leaf. Quick harvest stuff. Okay. Kusha, not sweet. Potato enough for me. Yeah. Yeah. The candy roaster had to me was not like sweet potato, but it was mild. It just had a mild, fresh taste to it. Didn't really remind me of sweet potato. But mine were not as ripe because the bugs got in it. And so I just harvested them early. I think if I had let them um, buttercup or kombucha, cup, cup, can't say it, kombucha, squash better for pie. Okay. Kusha, not sweet potato. Kusha reminds me of pumpkin. It reminds me of pumpkin, Mike. You should try it in a pie. If you like pumpkin pie, I don't like pumpkin pie. I've never made a pumpkin pie in my life, honestly. So, so you just modified an old pumpkin pie recipe. So, I might try it. I might try it. I've got all the things, so I might try it. Now, how did you cook your how you told me. You told me that you diced them up and so you just cooked them until they were tender. Um, Now I roasted the kusha for the bread, and I roasted it because when you roast those, they get sweeter. Same thing with my potatoes. When I make a sweet potato pie, I roast my potatoes. I have boiled them, and they do it makes a fine pie boiling it. But when you roast it, it makes it sweeter. You actually use less sugar to sweeten it when you roast it. It makes it more of a sweet caramel like sweetness to it, not just a plain sugar type sweetness. So yeah. To 90 plus day vegetable and a bug fight. That's why fast grow veggies and legumes. Okay, yeah. Yeah, that's true. what I had this year is I had what are they called? Pickle worms or whatever it is that eats squash and cucumbers and all the things. I had those. And so I was picking everything early, as early as possible, so that I could get my share. It was like easy. I did everything in a blender, cooked squash, 4 eggs, cream, sugar, vanilla, cinnamon. Yeah, nice, nice. Okay. All right, guys. Thanks so much for coming in. I appreciate you being here. Um, have a good evening. I will see you in these YouTube streets. I will be here next Monday night at 11 p.m. Central Time, if God willing and the creek don't rise. Okay, okay. Yeah, it sounds just almost exactly like a sweet potato pie. Um, Good night, everybody. Y'all have a good one. I'll see you in the streets.